welcome back to the show. Hello, Jim. Very nice to meet you. Thank you for taking your time.
Hi, Jim. Hi to Michigan and hi, Armin.
Detroit.
Yeah, Michigan. Yeah, Northern Michigan.
Northern Michigan, yeah. In Brighton, right? Brighton.
No, I moved up near a place called Cadillac.
Okay.
Nice. 3 hours north.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
The big woods. We're up in the big woods here.
Oh, nice.
Like the Cadillac car?
Yes, same name.
Is it a kind of Indian name, Cadillac? Is this a kind of tribe or something?
I think it is. I believe you're right, Pete. I believe it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think they did that Pontiac, Cadillac, all that stuff, that Native American theme. Mm-hmm. I believe you're right. Yeah.
Cherokee.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Cherokee.
Right. Cherokee, sure. Whatever sells, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had a Comanche. I mean, ANC had a few of these names. Yeah.
Well, it was another Jeep product, Comanche. Yep.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I only had the AMC Ambassador from 1956 from the American Motors Corporation. But it was called Ambassador. It was a two-door limousine. It was
cool. Fancy car for
so
fancy
guy. I was just 18 years old and drove to the school, elbow.
Sunglasses.
So the mechanic. So the mechanic was your friend.
No, I had never a problem. The only problem I had then in winter, one freak was driving too fast down the icy road and he crashed into this car, and I couldn't find in Germany any spare parts. So it was impossible to fix the car.
With the US cars, you also need a friend at the gas station.
I had only a small 6-cylinder engine in it. Come on. Later I had my CJ5 Jeep with 8 cylinders, drank a little more.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But this is nothing better than a V8.
Yeah.
Doesn't it? But Jim, before we talk about cars and stuff like this, would you like to introduce yourself, where you come from, what you're doing, where you're going?
Okay. I was born in Northern England.
Okay.
But north of Manchester, up in the Pennine area, right on the Yorkshire border.
Okay.
I've been shooting archery since I was 3 years old. I don't remember. That's what my dad tells me. I don't remember.
Okay.
I kind of remember from maybe 8, 9, 10 is my earliest archery memories, but kind of other ones are photographs my dad showed me. So I don't know. It's hard to say whether you remember the photograph or you remember being there. I don't know.
Yeah.
But 8, 9, 10, I remember doing a lot of shooting at the field archery. It was all field archery. That's what it was. My dad my dad won a bow when I was a little kid at the fair. They gave me the bow. I was happy. The bow broke. I was unhappy. And he says, he'll get over it. And he said, I just never got over it. I kept bothering him every day. Where's the bow? You're going to get me a month. Anyway, so him and another carpenter friend of his built a bow out of just stuff, gave it to me, and off I went. And he said, so he followed me out to see what I was doing, and he couldn't believe the difference of the bow that he won and the bow that they made. And he said he got interested, so he bought himself a bow. The bow broke. He bought 5 more. They all broke, and he got tired of that because they were all wood bows. And he wanted to build his own. So he asked my mother to get him a book from the library on bow making.
Cool.
My mother brings a book back that says Hunting the Hard Way, Howard Hill. She said it's the only book I could find. The only book I could find.
Even in England.
Right. She couldn't find another book. And it was in our local library. Small town, too. Small town.
Wow.
That grabbed my dad, and that was it. He started wanting to. He went over to a company called Marksman, which was not that far from where I lived. Marksman Archery was the biggest company in England at the time. And Les Alwis, which I knew Les when I got older, and they put together a kit. And I have the letters from Martin Archery to my dad. One of them is, here's the kit. And the next one is, I'm glad the kit worked out and you got a bow. And that's October 1964.
Wow.
Okay. So I don't know. I'd like the other ones of the letters my dad wrote to Les. That would be great, but I just don't have them. But my dad said, it worked out. It worked out exactly like Les told him it was going to do. And from then in, he started developing the bow Les always asked him if making that hill style bow would be viable for marksmen to do. My dad told him, he says, well, I want one and I don't know anybody else. You know, no, he didn't know at the time, but that spurred on my dad building bows. Once people saw my dad's bow, they wanted that. So my dad kept building bows, and that's how he developed what I call the Union Jack. I call it a Union Jack because my dad was Jack. And it was his version of the Howard Hill bow.
Okay.
So I call it the Union Jack because it's British. My dad was Jack, kind of threw that in there.
And what was your dad's original profession?
Window cleaner.
Oh, really? And then he got into bowery.
Yeah, he did like commercially. He did like banks, police station, fire stations, and he cleaned the security screens at the post office, and he did commercial stuff. Yeah.
Okay. And so from the beginning, he was hooked by the hill style bows, even in England.
And he made them flat because the pictures he saw of Howard Hill had the bow strong. He never saw a hill bow without the string on, so he made them flat. He didn't put any back set on them, and we still make them exactly the same way today. So,
and they're great.
They now call them, what do they call them now? String follow bows, they call them.
Yeah. But I have every design have a very high back set and straight and string follow. They all shoot fine. I can't say which I like most.
Yeah, I hear all the. You hate to mention people, you know. There's a company called Faribault out there. There's Northern Mist. There's Howard Hill Archery. Myself. You shoot them all through the chronograph. There's probably not 5 feet a second between them all. And sometimes that's just one bow turns out faster than another bow. It just is what it is. You know. But that style of bow, even with back set on, there's 5 feet a second is probably the best you can get it. And some people struggle to shoot them, but you've got to enter into the spirit of shooting that bow. It's a certain, you have to have it's a certain technique to shoot that bow. And if you don't enter into the spirit of shooting that bow, you're just going to struggle.
If you just switch from target archery to a hill style bow, you won't be happy. If you don't get into that, if you don't watch the Hill movies and see how he shot the bow, then you have to pick up the whole style, so to say, in my opinion.
And that's what my dad used to say, and he used to call it enter into the spirit of the bow. You have to enter into the spirit of that bow to shoot it. Comfortable. We're not going to be Howard Hill. Howard Hill was a one of a kind of dude. We're just not. It's different times. And he was the Tiger Wood of friggin' archery,
But if you grasp a Howard Hill style bow handle, you have a little of Howard in you, and you feel it, and you feel better. That's true.
Yes.
And you will be Howard Hill one day, or some days, or a few days. Once a year, you will have that Howard Hill moment when you're shooting that bow. I guarantee you will.
Wow. I need one now. Peter convinced me now. I'm more like this Asiatic bow stuff for me, but Peter convinced me now that Howard Hill bow, a good one, is the best bow ever. So I need to have one. It's
tools for the job, tools for the job.
Exactly. Depends which job you have
your
to
Asiatic bows, especially your Asiatic composite bows, love to shoot a light arrow a long way. They're excellent at it. The Howard Hill style bow doesn't like the light arrow.
Yeah, needs heavy arrows.
It likes a heavier arrow. It's tools for the job, man.
But we interrupted you in your story. You were born in England, and your daddy making bows and so on.
So he still worked and built bows, and there was a guy from London. I think he was from London. It doesn't matter. London area, London's it's huge, But anyway, he was from northern London, one of the suburbs there. And he had my dad build bows for him, and he convinced my dad to build bows, and he was called Long Shot Archery.
Mm-hmm.
The guy was called Rex Oakes. And Rex will tell you this, I believe he's still alive.
Mm-hmm.
And my dad built a number for him, the first ones, and he just got real popular real fast. And my dad just didn't want to do that. So we taught Rex how to build bows, and Rex started it. And my dad let him have the name. I don't know why he did that. And I remember complaining to him at the time. Sagittarius Archery. You probably heard of Sagittarius longbows.
Yeah, there's a young guy who's still making them, no? He was a student of Rex Harris. So, how was its name?
Yeah, well, I don't believe that, but I talked to Rex about that. But yeah, he's grabbed the flag and he's running with Team Sagittarius. And to be honest, when I first saw him, I was like, but I tell you what, the last ones he's built, man, he's starting to come around, man. He's starting to get it. Yeah. First ones are probably like the first ones I built too. We all start somewhere. Exactly. And he's doing pretty good. But he's called Terry Harris. Rod Harris. Rod Harris is called.
Mm-hmm. And because we talk about it, I have to interrupt you again. And there's a lot of confusion because when I'm buying a bow from Howard Hill Archery in the United States, or if I'm looking one of the John Schultz Howard Hill style bows, or even for Hill Archery, he built them, and then I see pictures, and also I have one of Cherry Hill old Howard Hill style bows, not the action wood, but bamboo. And let's say these Howard Hill Archery bows are more like a D shape, a flattened D shape in the limb. And there are also some around there real flat bows where they just have a rectangular
cross section
in the limbs. So I even think Howard Hill made different ones. I don't know. What's your opinion about that?
Howard Hill tried to make the best bow he could. So he experimented, and some came out this way and some come out I'm sure he was disappointed with. And he ended up with the bows you see him shooting in the films. I have, I think, 4 or 5 of them here from the 50s that was built. I don't believe Howard Hill ever built bows in the 50s for people unless he knew you. I've heard people saying, yeah, this is a 1952 Howard Hill. He built it for my Uncle Bob. No, he didn't. Because Howard Hill was a multi-millionaire in 1952 after Tembo. And I'm sure his work doing all the other, he had no time, nor was it, it just wasn't worth him building. I just don't think he did. And now, if you were Guy Madison or you were Earl Flynn, sure, he's going to build you a bow, man. Ain't no doubt about it. But is he going to build me a bow? No, no.
And I don't know. Did he ever build glassed bows for himself, or I don't know?
Yeah, Howard Hill did. Yeah.
With fiberglass.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Because he came up in the 40s. No?
I've seen White Eagle, which I believe he built. I saw Grandma.
Yeah, true.
That he built. I worked with Craig a couple of times. I was over there at Craig's, and it was for a vacation. But we ended up working in the workshop, me and Craig Eakin. And actually, we took the reflex out of his forms. I was responsible for taking some of that reflex out of his forms. Okay. And he'll tell you that. He'll tell you that, Will Craig.
He's a nice guy. He's a nice guy.
He's salt of the earth. Craig Eakin is the real deal, man. That guy is salt.
And also his price is very favorable. No,
and his wife is Evie. Evie treats you like $1 million, man. Treats you like one of her kids, man. When you go there, she does. But he had one called Posada Mañana, and Howard Hill built that one. And that's more modern one. That looks more like what John Schultz bows were like. John Schultz bows look more like that Posada Mañana than anything else, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Schultz worked for Howard Hill, I think about 1969 to 1971 or something like that. That's when, you know, Tim Miggs made a lot of bows for Howard Hill. And all these people, just like the Kramer boys, Autumn Archery, they were making them their version. Every bow maker has their own version. Yeah. So you're going to see, you know, some people crowned the back, some people left them flat. So you're going to see people's versions of the Howard Hill.
Yeah. I have one. They told me from pictures it was made by Jim Darling with green glass on the backing and brown on the belly, and it's a real wide flat bow.
Yep. Like the ones that you see. I have one. I don't know. I think it was a Jim Darling bow. I've got one here of them too. It looks like the ones in Sagittarius. It looks like the ones Bob Swinehart took. Yeah, I think that bow is what Swinehart was shooting for Howard Hill archery bows.
And there was another guy. I think his name was Dale Phillips or something.
Yeah.
I think I have one of his.
Yeah.
There were a lot of bowers working for Howard Hill Archery. I just tell it to Armin.
Smithwick. There was a guy called Smithwick. He made some bows for him too.
I never heard about that.
Right. He was one of Tom Jennings' buddies.
Okay.
Archery, they made some bows. Smithwick, he called her. I don't know what his first name was, but his second name was Smithwick.
And I think over the years, they must have sold thousands and thousands of bows, this Howard Hill Archery.
Well, Howard Hill Archery didn't come into be Howard Hill Archery till about 1960 or 61, I don't think. And I'm not an expert on this stuff. It's just gleaned information that I've got from Craig and being around the industry and looking at bows. And I don't think anybody can give you an absolute.
Yeah.
Because the people that were involved, they're all dead, and they never really wrote this stuff down.
Yeah.
You know, they never did. They never did.
And,
well, I have three Stotler Brothers bows, and they were all built about the same time, and they're all different.
And Howard Hill himself ran a shop in California. I think the name was Shawnee Archery or something.
No, that's what. Now I do know the story of Shawnee Archery. I definitely know that. It was run by a guy called Doug Kittredge, owned Shawnee Archery. And Howard Hill rented the workshop behind Shawnee Archery, and that's where Howard Hill Archery came from. It was in Sunland, California.
Yeah.
And that's where it came from. And he set up with a guy called Dick Gerver and Ted Eakin and himself, and then were the three partners in Howard Hill Archery.
Yeah. And this guy, Doug Kittredge, is kind of famous himself. No.
Yes. He made a big catalog cartridges. Yeah. But he owned Shawnee Archery. Now, I have been looking for a Shawnee longbow forever, and I've never found one. And I have other people looking for them. And Howard Hill Archery built the Shawnee longbow, and it was maple and bamboo. And I have never seen one. You'll see them in their catalog, but it was made by Howard Hill Archery when Howard Hill was alive for Shawnee, for Doug Kittredge.
Never saw one. No.
But nobody wrote this stuff down because it was just archery. They really didn't think they were. I don't think people realized it was going to be. Well, they just didn't realize what it was. You know, they were just building bows and arrows. You know, I don't think they made a big deal about it. You know.
Yep.
So.
Nice.
And then there's all kinds of rumors. Howard Hill signed all the bows. Howard Hill named all the bows. Some people say Jim Darling wrote the name on the bow. Yeah. Everybody's dead, man.
I cannot ask anyone.
I can't imagine. I don't believe that Howard Hill signed the bows because he was away somewhere and they are building the bows at another place. So I don't believe that.
I was told that he was demanding, if you wanted Howard Hill to come and shoot, I think it was $16,000 for him to shoot.
Wow.
In 1950s, that was a lot of money.
That's a lot of money.
Wow. I know I'd like $16,000 right now. Yeah. But I mean, it was a lot. Can you imagine that back in the 50s? $16,000.
Horrifying, a lot of money. Yeah.
So why would he be able? you a bow. He doesn't need to.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
And if you I'm not an expert like you, but I'm always in Howard Hill stuff, and so and I thought about when he started in Florida, and so I think for this aircraft guy, he was a kind of facility manager of the shooting range and so on, and I think he had a dream. And he's a kind of an example of the American dream. He had a dream to become a famous sportsman. And I think, I don't know what's your opinion. Some years ago, I found that old movie, The Singing Buckaroo, where Howard Hill plays an Indian.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, his dream was to become an actor. When
probably.
Yeah.
But he had a fateful meeting with the Wilhelm brothers. And the Wilhelm brothers introduced him to making his own movies and doing trick shooting and stuff like that. And I believe the dream was brought from them guys.
And after Robin Hood, he had connections to the Hollywood guys, so he could use the sets and the starlets and so on, I think. No?
Yeah, I think about that a little bit. I've actually been through a lot of stuff at Jury Hill's house.
Yeah.
Back a long time ago. And just a minute, we just went low on the battery here. So let me plug back in here somehow. So Jury has pictures of Howard Hill with everybody.
Yeah.
I mean,
I heard about that.
With, James Cagney, I've seen him. You can't believe the pictures that Howard Hill had. So I can only think that when people that were Hollywood people, even back then, they were privileged people, back in the day. And here's a man from back in the woods in Alabama, and could do stuff with a bow and arrow that would just amaze you. So I'm sure he got popular just because of his talent.
And they like today, they kind of like that back country people when they go to Hollywood and are quite, how we say today, authentic. No, they are like,
sure. He was the real deal, man. He was just the real deal. And I think everybody was, you got to see this guy, man. You want to see him shoot, and I think that's how Howard Hill got on.
Yeah. And some of his movie shots were even produced by Warner Brothers and so on. So you see in the credits.
Another thing that's always amazed me, a few of his shorts were narrated by Ronald Reagan, who became president of the U.S.
Yeah.
That was great.
Yeah. And like that how you call it, that kind of big headline voices, and watch out, Howard, and like that, like their old style.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
But
wait a minute.
And I know people are looking at him from the eyes of today, the critical eyes of today. And this was cutting edge stuff back in the day, man.
Yeah. Armin didn't know the scene from Tembo where Howard shots the crocodile. So I sent him that short clip.
Watched it last week,
You couldn't make it today with the black guy sitting on the
Black Lives Matters will storm you here in the studio in a way.
Set fire to the studio before that one.
No.
But you can't judge them old movies in today's eyes. You can't.
We often talk about history. It's totally wrong to judge history events by today's views.
You can't.
Yeah, of course.
No, and history's terrible. History's tough because it's only ever written by the winners.
Yeah.
So you only ever get one side of history. No matter
exactly.
Yeah. If you read the history books, so you would think Hitler was the only anti-Semitic in his days, but the opposite was true.
Yeah. He just put it this way: he had some help.
Well, of course, a lot of help.
It was not uncommon in his days. That's what I wanted to say. But if you read it today, you think, "Oh, horrible."
But not, and that wasn't just in Germany. There was that sentiment in a lot of countries. It wasn't just Germany.
Yeah.
He had supporters.
But America found it so useful to always blame the Germans for what they did, or with our
No.
Well,
you see,
you know,
that's not true. I mean,
this is a tough conversation because really, you know, my family fought against your families back in the day. I had grandfathers fought in the First World War.
Yeah.
You know, I had people fought in the Second World War. One of my uncles got sunk in after the convoy going to Malta. He was on the Maltese convoys, and he got E-boat sunk him. I had another uncle, D-Day +6. He ended up taking an 88 shell in his artillery bunker, and he blew him out, killed everybody but him. I had uncle he fought 4 years right through the desert, all the way through Italy. Not one of them ever said, and my granddad, both my granddads fought in the First World War. Now that was horrible. I don't care who you are, and I don't care what uniform you wore. That was a terrible, terrible tragedy. Was the First World War for everybody concerned. But I think I'm struggling here. But I never heard any of my granddads ever speak ill of anybody from Germany.
That's what I wanted to say to Armin. I was in the United States for some times. I never heard one word. It's just made up here. It's just here in Austria and in Germany.
Propaganda through the media.
Yeah, exactly. But it comes from somewhere. It doesn't come from here.
The opposite is true. The opposite is true. All the Americans I talked with, they said, "Oh, the German, they were great warriors. They were," and so on. Hitler was crazy, but the Germans were great soldiers and warriors and so on. It's not true what we hear around.
But well, from my perspective, the Hitler thing, it was a perfect storm created by everybody for him to turn up.
And
it was a perfect storm created by the Allies. Everybody created that position for him to fill.
Of course.
And the first World War created the second one, of course.
Right.
Because there were the aristocracies destroyed and the lands all cut, their countries and so on. And that was the cause. And that's why the people believed Hitler, because he said, they took Poland from us, they took this from us and so on. And we have to get it back. And so, oh, he's right. And of course, this was this time.
Do it again because of the internet. We're too connected anymore. People are going to say, just a minute, I'm going to talk to my buddy in this country. And they'll email him and he'll go, oh, no, that's not what's happening here.
And now you see it with some other stuff. You see with that coronavirus or with climate change. If there is the media propaganda all day long, people believe everything. Everything.
Rule by fear.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Anyway.
Okay.
Doesn't affect archery. Yes. So when did you?
My dad always said, "We'll never see it right," and he was. So anyway, what do you want? Knife of the day, or are we? Or do you still want to talk to me about my story? Yeah, I guess.
Did you move now already in your story to America? Or is this still your
no?
Early years in the UK? How did you get into bow building then?
Well, I think I always did it with my dad, although I thought I was in the way half of the time, because my dad, don't do it this way or don't do it that. I always thought I was in the way, but I helped my dad do stuff. I remember building my first bow on my own. It was in the 80s, maybe. Up to that time, I was always involved with stuff, and I built a bow I'm going to build this bow on my own. My dad's not going to tell me at all. So I get the bow shooting, and I had to go away for work at the time. When I came back, it was all finished and signed and everything. I said, so I never did get to finish it, but I still have the bow. Oh, so cool. I never did get to finish the whole damn bow on my own anyway. He still finished it and signed it. So, but he put my name on it, but that's just the way it goes. So I don't know when the first bows I truly built on my own was probably in the States. In the 80s, when I got here, I started building a friend of mine a kid's bow, and I've just been building bows ever since here.
And why do you moved over to the United States? What was the cost for your moving, for your move?
I was going back to New Zealand. Actually, been living in New Zealand and working there for a while, and I just needed to get away. There was no hunting in England. It was not. It was against the law. We used to do a little hunting, although the authorities didn't think it was that. But I got an invite to go to New Zealand, go hunting with them guys, and I lived in New Zealand. I'd already been to America and shot in the Howard Hill Invitational. I met some people there. And I was going back to New Zealand, and a friend of mine from here in Michigan says, why don't you come and hunt white-tailed deer? You're not a bow hunter unless you've shot a white-tailed deer. So I came here to shoot a white-tailed deer, and I never got away. I liked it here. Well, you know, it's like here, Pete. It's pretty laid back. It's not a bad place to be. You know, you can certainly make a living here, and you go hunting in every state in the union, you know, so, you know, it's a pretty good place to be.
Yeah, and we talked in the past about it. It's a very different approach to hunting than in Europe. It's a completely different approach. It's all about the meat, about the adventure and so, and not about aristocracy and high snobby people. That's not the way in the United States.
And everybody, if you go to any archery club here, but you could come from Germany, Austria, Malta, wherever you are, you can come here with your bow and arrow and say, hey, I'd really like to go hunting. Somebody will take you hunting.
And
somebody will take you and point you in the right direction.
And they would feel honored that they take you hunting.
Which in Europe, no, not so much. You've got to tick all the boxes, and you got to jump through all the hoops.
When I was first bow hunting in the United States in Idaho with Nate Steen, you know, that hill bower.
I just talked to Nate last week.
And so he invited me, and I said I can't come alone. No, so take your friend with you. And they did everything an outfitter would do for you for big money. They erected a bear bait. They had the camp and so on. And the deal was we pay the food and the beverage, and they do manage all the other stuff. That was the deal.
Wow.
Nice people.
That's the way it is here. Deer camp is great. Bow hunting camp is fantastic.
Yeah, you sit there in the evening on the campfire. You
look at his smile. Oh, look at him.
You lie. You talk about Howard Hill and Fred Bear and all that guys. And
the first liar has no chance. We always say that. If we run out of stories, we'll tell lies to each other. I'm with you. But, no, it's a good time. It's just guys out in the woods being dudes in the woods, you know. It's not.
I say it's kind of sounds.
That's what we don't get in Europe, right?
And it kind of sounds like romantic or something, but I always felt it's like you would go back to your archaic roots. You sit with some guys, you have a nice knife and nice camp food, and you talk about hunting, and next morning you go out while it's dark and you're looking for deer. And so it's like human, like men were thousands and thousands of years. And that's like you go home to where you come from.
Your ancestors.
Sounds very poetic, but it's like that.
Yeah, you get to eat food your girlfriend or your wife doesn't want you to eat.
I was just interested. Are there no women bow hunting nowadays?
Yeah, there is. Georgia, she's the co-owner of Bivouac Bows. She hunts pretty hard.
Okay.
In fact, this weekend she just shot a monster buck this weekend.
Okay. But you know what? I don't know if Jim will agree. But you know, in a group at the 3D tournament or in a hunting party, to be honest, I don't need women there because men behave different when women are around. So when 100%. when you're in camp with just your buddies and guys, it's a lot of fun. And if there's just one woman, and even if it's an ugly one, the men behave different.
They talk different. They change their behavior. I was just up at the. I just spent the weekend with Bob Eastman. We were hunting together up there. He owns a square mile. He's I don't even know Bob Eastman. He set up a little company called Carbon Express Arrows and Game Tracker and Eastman Outdoors and Gorilla Tree Stands and all that stuff. He used to have, now he's sold to Ferdinand. And he has a camp up there, and it's just all dudes, man. Just guys. We get to drink bourbon and again eat fried foods, man. That's what you do.
everything unhealthy.
Everything isn't allowed.
And it does. Whether people want to admit to that or what, but guys do change when there's a woman around. Because it's nature.
It's not because I don't like women. I really like them, but not while hunting.
It's a different thing. It is. But we don't get the casual hunting in England. Well, England, it was banned when I was 8 years old. They banned deer hunting in England. When I was 9, they banned it all through the country. Scotland used to allow you to hunt. I went up there with my dad when I was 9, hunting red deer. And that was the last time we could hunt red deer in England. And it doesn't matter if I'm sure you can if you're one of the royal family, but it doesn't matter how much money you have, you cannot hunt red deer in England.
Just the lords and they on their own property, they could hunt, no?
I think the law says all archery hunting is banned.
Okay.
But I don't know.
I talked about hunting in general.
Oh, you can rifle hunt if you've got enough money, just like in Austria. Yeah. And if you tick the boxes that they tell you have to tick, yes, you can go hunting. Yeah, sure. Germany is the same.
Yeah, Austria. Yeah.
The leases you have to have, and the farmers you got to pay, and but it's privilege hunting.
And you have to make a kind of course of school. In Austria and also in Germany, you have to make a kind of hunting school.
Yeah.
You have to get a license here too. In America, you have to pass a hunter safety course.
Yeah, but that's a short thing. I know it. But
it's not the Austrian or German. It's not the same as the Jägermeister thing. It's not the same as that. No, that's crazy. That shit you have to do over there to get a hunting license is insane.
But on the other hand, if you have just an idea about the game and when they breed and so on, so it's not too bad, I'd say.
No, but if you're a bad hunter, you're not going to get anything. Period. Exactly. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter how educated you are. You're still going to be able to go hunting.
True.
Cool. Yeah. So I've set up here, and I've been building bows full time for about 15 years now, I think. Full time. Yeah, still done some work with the island,
Which kind of bows you built? Howard Hill longbows, obviously.
I build. I have a 50 style recurve, 60 style recurve, a 3-piece ILF style hunting bow.
Okay.
That's pretty much it. Oh, a couple of reflex deflex. They're the ones I call this ASL thing. That's what I call it, ASL. American semi-longbow is reflex deflex.
Okay.
The hill style bow is the American longbow. As far as I'm concerned, that's it.
Yeah.
I call the reflex deflex shy recurves.
I mean, it's got people involved. It's not my style of bow per se that I go to, but I'll shoot them. I shoot them all the time too.
They're wonderful.
But my go-to bow is, and I like to shoot. I'll shoot the recurve for a little bit. I'll shoot, the reflex deflex. But when I grab my hill style bow, it's like I've come home. I don't know what it is. It's just And it'd be the same for you if you're shooting the Asiatic bows. You can shoot all these other ones. When you grab your Asiatic bow that you like, that's good now. Now it just feels like you're going, Everything in the world is good again. You know?
Yeah. And that's, we talked before about it also with Byron Ferguson and with other guys. The most important thing, the key to good and consistent shooting is you have a proper equipment and you have to love your bow. You have to be convicted that the best bow you can hold in your hand, you carry now. And that's the key.
It's your tool. You need to trust your tool and you need to have confidence with your tool.
Yeah.
Nice. And which glass do you use? Because I saw in a few posts that people buy from you only the glass and build their own bows, and they are quite happy with the glass from you.
The glass it's always been Gordon's glass.
Yeah.
Which one?
Gordon's.
Gordon. Okay.
Bow tough.
I'd say that's
actually, I've got some samples here right now. I'm going to run about 10 bow samples from somebody else's glass.
Nice. So people buy even only the material from you and build their own bows.
I've stopped doing that, but I still supply Hoyt with all their stuff. I still do all the cores for Hoyt bows.
Okay. Cool. Nice.
What you sell the glass to Hoyt now?
No, they use a lot of carbon on their bows that come out of California, and the glasses they buy direct from Gordon's. I think Gordon's is only maybe 4 hours drive from Hoyt, actually.
Yeah.
And it's a very, very old company. No, they do it since decades, that glass stuff.
30s or 40s they started doing. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
I think there was a couple other companies, but Dave Gordon started. He was one of the first. Hang on. Somebody turned up here. Customer turned up at the shop.
And because we talk about glass, what is the secret or the knowledge about, on that old Howard Hill style bows, I see they used on the backing kind of a woven glass, and on the facing they used linear glass. I don't know about the story behind. Do you know something, Jim?
I think he needs to go to his customer.
We got it back. I don't know. The thing just died. I don't know what it was.
Okay.
So linear glass. This is your glass you're talking about.
Yeah.
This is an original Howard Hill bow.
Wow. What's its name? The Fang?
Swift.
The Swift. Swift. Yeah.
Yeah. And then.
But it looks like a 70-pound, huh? Howard Hill. Wow, nice.
Oh yeah, it's got probably. It looks pretty heavy. I won't string it up. It's got original linen string.
Nice.
Really?
Yeah.
Nobody told the people how to do this, but I think they got the bamboo and then they molded the fiberglass on the back of it. I think that's what they did.
What I heard about is that they made, so to say, a ready and finished tillered bow out of the bamboo, and then they glued the glass on.
Yeah, I think that's what they did. That's what it looks like if you look at the way they've made this one. That's what it looks like. Because of the fade out, the way the fade out back here is.
Yeah.
The fade out is blunt here, but it goes further down the bamboo, so it looks like they stuck the back on a piece of maple, and then I think they probably had the fiberglass on the back, and they tillered the belly, then they put the glass on.
Okay,
that would be my guess.
Makes sense.
Otherwise, it'd be too difficult. It'd be too difficult to do it another way.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah.
But it's pretty cool to own a couple of these.
Yeah, of course.
And that's for sure. And Jim, do you know when they came up with it all bamboo bows? I think they were around before Howard Hill made them too. No,
the earliest that I've read about was Elmer. Elmer did them in the 20s, and I'm sure, as you know, nothing's new. But Elmer was making English style longbows out of bamboo and quite happy with them.
We talked about in the past in other shows, and I always said, I think these guys and also Howard Hill, they watched to the bamboo fly rod makers, because they had a lot of knowledge about tempering bamboo and gluing bamboo together, and so no.
Yeah,
I think
it
so.
makes sense. I'm sure there's a lot of crossover.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, Jim is gone. His iPad died, so we need to finish this show without him, but he already said that he will be back very, very soon. Oh, Peter is still texting him that it's okay. His iPad died, and I don't know what happened, but we were just talking about nice bow details and stuff. But what can we do? Nothing. Technique.
And besides that, how would you ever have the possibility to see an original Howard Hill bow made by Howard Hill?
That's true.
And have a closer look at that kind of bow. So that's.
I really start liking them, so I need one now, no matter who makes me one. Otherwise, I play only the.
Maybe we should talk to Jim.
But then I need to play this music from Deliverance, from the banjo boy. Banjo. Ding,
Like
ding, 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 ding,
like
ding,
that insane.
Ding, 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 ding.
Yes. Okay. Let's do it next time again. And so, yeah.
Thank you very much, Jim, for your time. See you next time.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, viewers. Subscribe and write us comments, because we don't get any critics about what we are doing. You are all just happy and looking with wide eyes and open mouth at our talking. So we need your input.
We need some input. Give us input. Yes, give us a bit more input.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much for watching.
Goodbye, Armin.
See you in the next time. Ciao, ciao, peace.